Welcome to What to Read Wednesdays. My name is Amy, and today I'm going to talk about one of my favorite authors. Her name is Jojo Moyes, and she is from Essex, England. Her name actually came from a Beatles song. She has become increasingly popular over the years, and you may be familiar with her newest book, The Giver of Stars. My favorite books that she's written include the series Me Before You, After You, and Still Me. These 3 books form a series centered around the main character of Louisa Clark, or Lou as she's also known. She is a character that you will fall in love with right away. Living at home with her parents, elderly grandfather, and sister, Lou has a very ordinary life. She doesn't expect much from herself as far as big goals and will probably marry her boyfriend Patrick one day. He treats her passingly well. She's never traveled other than visiting the small castle that's right within her own village. She's also fashion-challenged, preferring to wear thrift shop clothes and outfits that are somewhat outrageous compared to what others might be wearing. In the first book, Me Before You, Louisa applies for a job to take care of a man who is wheelchair-bound. When she first meets Will, he is moody and bossy. He had a life of wealth and privilege, traveling the world and living big until he was involved in an accident that changed his life forever. Lou must learn what it means to care for a paraplegic. Her goal becomes Will's happiness, to show him that life is worth living. Will is just as taken with Louisa and goes to visit her parents and celebrate her birthday. He wants her to experience life, to have adventures and ambitions. Their relationship will change each other forever, even after Lou learns of Will's shocking plans. In the second book, called After You, Lou is still suffering from losing Will. She is living on her own and has a terrible job in a bar. She goes out on her balcony one evening only to suffer a traumatic accident. She comes to looking up into the eyes of a paramedic. The accident forces her to move home where her beloved family members start the healing process. She joins a support group full of amazing characters that reconnect her with a paramedic known as Sam Fielding. He may be the only one that can really understand her. Is love possible again for Lou, even when she is confronted with a person from Will's past? And finally, in the third book, Still Me, we are reintroduced to all our favorite characters, but in a new setting. Lou is ready to take on the world and have an adventure. She is offered a job with a super-rich family, the Gopniks, as an assistant in New York. She's propelled into a world of household staff, new acquaintances, and living a life of the privileged. Lou begins to learn that life isn't as it really seems for the Gopniks. She befriends the doorman and his family, sisters who run a vintage clothing store, and her eccentric, cranky neighbor. These New Yorkers keep her company as she tries to keep her long-distance relationship with Sam going. Once again, she is reminded of Will as her life collides with his. She is keeping secrets from Sam, but is Sam keeping secrets from Lou? In a review done by Book Review, they had this to say about Still Me. In Still Me, Lou is in New York trying her hardest to say yes to as many things as possible in a bid at following Will's advice to live boldly, and live boldly she does, although not necessarily always in the way she might have preferred. This was a wonderful story filled with all of the things we love about Lou, combined with a New York atmosphere that was richly detailed. This was a wonderful series by Jojo Moyes. Thank you for joining us, and please check out the library for Me Before You, After You, and Still Me. Join us next time for new titles.